Now, I know that I said last time that we would start with the admins table today, but instead I want to start with the users, and you'll see why a bit later. Okay, so to do that, the first thing we need to do is create a controller. So we'll head to a new terminal, and we'll do PHP artisan make controller, and it's in our admins folder. And then the controller name will be user controller. We're also going to make it resourceful, and we are going to attach the model, the user model to it. Now we can head over to routes, web.php, and create those routes. Go ahead and also change this terminal back. Okay, so let's scroll down. And then right above permissions, we can just copy this one, paste. We're going to comment these out. And these are going to be users. And the controller is going to be user controller. Okay, and let's make sure to import that as well. Okay, let's go up and check. There it is. Fantastic. Okay, so now let's go ahead over to that controller. And here we are going to be able to display our users table page. So to do that, we need to add return inertia. Make sure to import that up top. Class, or sorry, render. And it's going to be admins, users, index. Okay, and then we're going to pass in a couple of things. So the first thing we need to pass in are the users. Now, there is a table in our users table in the database that we already set. We set it up early on. The migrations user table, okay, which is admin. And this isAdmin is a Boolean. So basically we are showing whether a person is a standard user or they're an admin. If they are a user, then they will have the default 0. And if they are an admin, then they will have the 1. And that's how we set it up early on. Okay, so how we want to do this now is say user where isAdmin equals 0. Okay, so we want to make sure that we are querying the database to grab only the users where the isAdmin is 0. They are just standard users. This page is just for standard users. And then for now, we're going to do get. Okay, and the other thing that we need to send to this page are the roles so that we can change them to admin, developer, or whatever. Okay, so we're just going to bring in role all, and let's make sure we import that. Now again, you can use all, you can use get. We don't have any roles, so all is fine. Okay, let's go up and make sure that that's imported, and they both are. Inertia is 2, and let's go ahead and make that page. This up, resources, JS, pages, admins. Okay, and we need to create a folder of users, and the view is going to be index.view. Okay, let's make sure that went to the right place. Okay, great. Let's go ahead and also make the link in the sidebar so that we can just refresh it and go straight to it. Okay, we'll come down here. We can just grab this one, copy, and let's just put it right here, paste. Change this to users, and we should be all good. Okay, so now for this index page, I want to first go to roles because we can just copy this and paste it in there and then just take out what we don't need. Copy, paste. Now we can close up sidebar, and we can close up roles and head straight to the top. And here we can go ahead and change this to users and scroll down. Now we'll have name, email, and here we can say joined, and then actions can stay the same. This is going to be user. This is going to be users, and we'll just copy and paste this one. User email. We can get rid of this one because we don't need it. We already know that they have their permissions set. This is going to be edit. This is going to be delete, and that is going to be user, and this delete role will be delete user. Let's go ahead and comment out the pagination for now. And then form title is the same. Close modal. This is all the same. Preview. Form.name. Check mode. This will just be name. Name. We don't really need the ID. Name. Form errors name. Fine. That's all good. Okay, so let's scroll down. And we should grab this one because we also need to add the email. Here, separate that a little bit. So now this will be email. Email. Input typed email. Email. Address. Form is email. Email. And we don't need the autofocus. This will be email. Now, if we head down to this one, we are actually going to be using multi-select, but we're going to be using it to attach the roles instead of the permissions. Okay, so this we can change to roles. And here we also need to put if equals edit mode. Okay, and because we only want to do it if they're already users. If we're using it for edit, if not, then we don't want to display it. So vmodel form roles, and we're going to pick up the first role because this is only going to be for one role at a time. Placeholder is choose new role. Multiple is going to be false. This is going to be role options. And instead of add permissions, we're just going to do tag and add tag. Okay, so now our permissions here are going to be roles. Okay, so this is the same, close modal, button text, and now we can head down here. So for now, let's go ahead and comment out this pagination. We have roles and we have users. Our edited index is -1, edit mode, false, ID, name. This needs to be email, and this needs to be roles. Okay, so this is now going to be role options, this roles. Okay, form title, create new user, create edit, and this will be create and edit user. Okay, so let's head down. This is now add tag. This is now new tag. Or sorry, this is now new role. We need to be as specific as possible. And now let tag equal name new role. This will be role options, push tag, form roles, push tag. Because remember, this is for our multi-select. So we're creating a variable named tag. We are passing in the new role. The role options that we have up here, this roles, we're pushing this tag, and then we are also pushing it into our form roles right up here. Now we have edit modal. This is going to be users, and this should be user. Username. We need email, user email, form ID, user ID, form roles, user roles. Okay, so scroll down, edit mode, that's fine, fine. Let's go ahead and just comment these out for now. And we need to change this to user. We just want to make sure that we're getting our page and everything before we press on. So edit user, delete user, user, and then this will just minimize and comment it out for now. Okay, so let's head over to our browser and make sure that we're getting everything. Let's make sure it's finished compiling correctly. Okay, looks good. Let's go back, refresh. Okay, then we click tables, users. Now we have our users page, but we don't have anything. Let's go ahead and inspect and see what's going on. Created at of undefined index.view. Okay, let's see what that's about. Users. Okay, so this should also be user. Refresh. Okay, and now we're good. So our create is showing create, and let's make sure that we'll also add that as a preview. Cancel. See if this comes up correctly. Create new user. Okay, so we'll sort that out in a bit. Okay, so let's head back. And then we scroll down. So that's fine. Modal, let's go ahead and add. We can just copy this one and paste in email, preview email, and it'll be form.email. Scroll down. Let's go ahead and see what this other error is. So cannot read property 0 of undefined. So that's coming from our roles. So let's go ahead and check view and see what we have coming in. Index, we have our roles, but we're not displaying the, well, yeah, we're not supposed to display it there. I know what this is. Okay, let's head down. And what we are actually going to do is, for now, we are going to go ahead and comment this out. Okay, because when, like I said before, when we create the user, we are not going to create roles for it. It's just automatically going to get the role of user. Okay, so let's just comment that out for now, and we'll go ahead and make the route. So now this is going to be post user controller, and then let's make that function in the controller. In here, we are going to create a variable called user, and we're going to say equal user create. Open that up, and then we're going to need the name, request name, and then we're going to need the email, request email. We could also, if we wanted to, we could also use the actions in the Fortify create user method, but we're not going to do that in this series. We can just do it this way. It's just quicker because we're in here now. Okay, so is admin equal 0. And the only reason we can do that is because we have Jetstream and Fortify set up. So password equals, we're going to say hash, import that, make, and they're all going to have the password. Their password is going to be password, and they'll be able to change it. Now we need a variable of role, and we're going to say role where ID equals 5, because we know that our standard user, the role ID equals 5 and first, and then we're going to sync the roles. So user sync roles, and we're going to sync that role of user, then return back. Okay, let's make sure that we've imported all of these classes. Admin, roles, role. So we only have the one. Okay, should be good. And now in our index page, we can go ahead and create that function. Okay, so we can uncomment this now. So it's this form post, this route, admin, users, store, Toastfire, new user created. Okay, let's see if we can get that working without any error. So we'll go back, we'll refresh, and I'll keep this open in case we get any more errors. Okay, so let's give this create method a try. What did I do there? Let's fix that. That's gonna bug me. Our preview. So it should probably be dflex flex column. I don't really use Bootstrap, so I kind of forget what the classes are. I forget some things in it. So you have to forgive me for that. Okay, so let's go back, refresh. Column name cannot be null. How is that already? Okay, create. That was weird. Okay, so test. No, we're getting it again. Integrity constraint violation. Column name cannot be null. Okay, so if we actually look at the network tab, what's happening is, for some reason, and it didn't do it with the roles model, which is odd, but if we go to the headers, it's making a post request every time it hits this route, which is making it try to submit to the database, and it shouldn't. So what I think is happening is this check mode that we have is in the computed property. So every time the page loads up, we get this error, and we shouldn't. Okay, so why don't we go ahead, we'll just take this out, just copy this and get rid of this and add it to the actual method. Just go ahead and I'm just going to paste it here for reference. Okay, and comment it out. So now instead of this check mode that we have here, we can just do edit mode. If it's edit mode, then we will have edit user as a function. And if not, then our function will be create user. That's very strange that it's doing that, because it didn't do it with the roles table. Let's see if we can get this working first. Okay, we'll make sure it's all compiled. Okay, now let's head back to the browser and see if we're still getting any errors. Okay, so we're not getting the error anymore, but let's go ahead and create. And I'm going to put a margin to fix that. But let's try to new user and new user at test.com. Create. Okay, new user created, and go all the way down. We'll do pagination on this too. So there it is. Okay, let's try to click edit. Okay, so we're getting that now correctly. I just want to see, just test out class equals margin top 2. Yeah, that should be good. Okay. Class equals margin top 2. And now we can get rid of this. Now, this is very strange. It's strange that it worked for one and not the other, and I'm not really sure why. Because we have the same function, which obviously we just grabbed it from our roles table, and it worked just fine as a computed property right here. And we also used it for our permissions table. So I'm really not sure why it's doing that. So all I can say is, if in the event that those other tables are giving you this error, then just go ahead and revert it to this one and have the conditional represented in the form submit, because that's just weird. It's just odd. Okay. It's weird that it works for one and not the other. It shouldn't work for any of them because it's a computed property. So if anybody knows why that is, then please leave a comment in the description and just educate me on that, because I don't know why it would work for one and not the other. But moving on. So let's go ahead and now open this up, and let's go ahead and also create the next two functions. We can uncomment those. This will be user, and this will be user controller. Okay, so let's head into the controller and work on those. We can just copy this one for now and add that to our update method, and we'll adjust it accordingly. We'll go ahead and add validation in after we make sure that these functions work correctly. Okay, so here we're going to do if request roles. We're going to pick the first one that we're putting in because it's coming in as an array. ID is what we're targeting. Does not equal 5, meaning the role that we're picking, the role that's being requested to add to this user, if it does not equal 5, meaning it's an admin or a developer or any other admin IDs that we have, then we can create a new variable, and we're going to call it admin role. We're going to say equal role. Well, we can bring this line up. Well, okay, we'll just say role admin role equals role, where name equals request roles, and we're picking the first one again. This will now be first. Okay, so here we're picking the admin role. We're creating a variable for admin role, and this admin role is going to be the role where the name equals the request roles, the first one, ID. Actually, we can even put ID here. Roles ID first. We can bring this up, and instead of create, we'll say update. Okay, we'll have the name as the request name, email as the request email. This admin, we're now going to change them to 1 because we are now making them into an admin. User sync roles, and this should be up here, and this will be admin role. Okay, and then we'll return back, and if it's not, we'll also return back. Okay, let's give this a try. So index, we'll come down to the edit method, edit user. This roles users, form ID, user has been updated. Okay, so let's go ahead and refresh and see if we can get this working. I'm going to leave this open in case we get any errors. Okay, we'll scroll down to the one we just created and try to edit it. So edit. Okay, and now we have a new error. Cannot read property 0 of undefined. And this is actually because if we go to our view dev tool and we look at our users that we have coming in, let me open this up so you can see it a bit better. We're not actually displaying any of the roles for this user. Okay, so that's why we're getting that error. And I'm curious to know if that might be what was going on with our edit as well. So what we need to do to fix that is open up our user model, and we need to eager load the relationship. Okay, so we can come down here and go ahead and paste that in. And as always, I'll be pushing all of this code up to GitHub so that you'll have access to it. Okay, so now we're going to eager load the relationship. Let's go ahead and refresh and see if that helps. Okay, so now if we take a look at our users, we should have the roles. Okay, so now let's try to click edit. Ah, there we go. Okay, you know what? I want to try and see if I can set this back. Okay, so I'm going to pause the video. I'm going to try it, and if it works, then I'll show you, and if it doesn't, then I'll let you know that as well. Okay, I'll be right back. Okay, so it is now working. So what I did was I went ahead, put back our computed property for check mode with it checking for the create user method. If it's in the edit mode and it's false, then it'll be create user, and if not, it'll be this edit user. And then I went ahead and added that computed property back to our prevent method. And now it works. So to show you that it works, we'll go ahead and click refresh. Okay, now we're no longer getting an error. We can click edit. And now all of our information is propagating. Also that the user has the role of user. Okay, we haven't edited that yet. And in our create method, it's showing up just fine. So why don't we go ahead, test it out, and say another test and another at test.com, create. Okay, so we've got our tweet alert and we have another test and everything is fine. So now let's try to edit it since we have the functionality for it. So it's being propagated in there, and I'll change the capitalization in a bit. But so now we can take this and let's say we change them into a moderator, edit. Okay, call to undefined. Oh, I misspelled update. User controller, update. Let's try it again. We don't need to refresh this, so we'll just say, we'll just change it to developer, edit. Okay, user has been updated, and they are no longer on this page because they are now admins, which we're not displaying as of yet. Okay, so let's go ahead and do the delete method, and then we can add the validation, and then we'll be done with, or no, we still have a couple of things to do. Okay, so now in our destroy method, we can just say user delete, and then return back. And I'm pretty sure that I made the route for this already. Let's just check that real quick. Destroy. Okay, that's good. That's good. Let's go ahead and put it in our index page. Down. And now we can go ahead and uncomment this stuff. Okay, scroll up a little bit. So we are bringing in the user. Are you sure? Blah, blah, blah. Delete. Users. User. User. Anything else? No, I think that's it. Okay, so now let's go ahead and try to delete this user. Refresh. Okay, now we can go ahead and click delete. Are you sure? Yes. User has been deleted. Okay, and now they're gone from our table. Okay, so let's go ahead into the controller and start finishing up all of these. Okay, before we get to the validation, what I want to do is I want to display these users as from the most recent, the latest, and then we're going to paginate this. And as usual, we'll do 5. We'll see how it looks, and if it looks okay, then we'll just leave it at 5. So we'll come down here, and this will be users.data. Down, uncomment this pagination. This will be users links. Down, pagination. Nation. Okay, that's fine. This will be users.data, and that should be good. Okay, so let's see what we have in here. So refresh. Can close this now. Okay, we have all of our pagination, and this is page 1. This is the most recent, and we can go through. I think the pagination breaks off at 11, if I'm not mistaken. But right now we have 10 pages, so we're good. I'm just gonna leave it at 5. I think it looks okay. And let's go ahead and also change the date on that while we're here. Go back to the user model. And then from role, we can actually just copy that. This date here. User casts. Okay, go back, refresh, see how that looks. While that's doing that, I can close this. Close this. Okay, cool. So now let's go ahead and start working on that validation. So we'll scroll down to the store method. And I'm just going to paste in the validation. It'll just save us some time. So in here, we're validating the name. We're making sure that it's required and a max of 50 characters. Email is required with, we want to make sure that it's a string, and we want to make sure it's an email. We also want to make sure there's a max of 50 and that it's unique to the users table. Create, and that should be good. So let's go ahead and check that out. Refresh. Okay, we'll click create, and we'll just try to click create here. Okay, so we have our validation. Good. And now let's also go ahead. Before we do the validation for store, I want to change up that capitalized stuff because it's bugging me. Form email, so this doesn't need to be capitalized. And the name can stay capitalized, that's fine. Okay, that was just bugging me. Okay, so let's head back to the user controller. And if we head down to the update, okay, I'm just going to paste in more validation and request roles null. Okay, so basically what we're doing is we're just validating that the name is required with a max of 50. The email is required. It's a string. Same thing as this store method. But we are also validating whether or not the roles is null. So that's all we want to check for to make sure it's not empty. Because if we don't do anything about the user, then it'll just stay as a user. But if we empty it out, we want to make sure that it returns some kind of error. The other thing that I want to do is, this still really feels glitchy to me, the form. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to revert it back to what we had it before and just leave it like that, call it a day instead of this check mode. Because I really don't like that it's being inconsistent, and we need it to be consistent. So we're going to make sure to put it in there. And then we're going to come down here and get rid of it again, and that'll be the last time, I promise. Okay, so we should be good right now. So let's go back and refresh. Okay, so we'll go ahead and do the first one. And let's take this out and see if that shows up. And it's not. Let's find out why. Update user is not a function. That's because it's edit user. Is it? Edit user. Okay, so let's go back and try that again. Refresh. Okay, so now we can go ahead and click edit. And now we can get rid of this. Edit. Okay, we've got our validation, and let's check this one. And it's not displaying. Let's see if we're getting it. Let's put a test name back in here. Test 1. Now let's try it. And the reason it's not going through at the same time as the rest of them is because we have it sort of as two separate validations, which is fine. It's perfectly fine. Either way, if it's empty, it's not going to go through. So I'm going to leave it there. I'm going to make sure to post all this code up to GitHub. In the next episode, we can go ahead and start tackling the admins and then finish up these tables and then move on to whatever's next. Okay, so thanks for watching, and I will see you guys next time.